is up, everybody? It is HOLYDEAT from HOLYDEAT Gaming, and we are back with some more Clash Royale. As you can see here, that it is the same day as yesterday's recording. Woo! Clap, clap, clap here. Let's get an applause going. Yay! Yay! Oh, okay. No more applauding. Alright, so, yes, I know it's the same day, so I haven't really changed a whole lot. I will be doing some battles, so calm down. Don't worry about it. Trust me, I got you guys. So, because it is the same day, my setup in comp has not changed, other than the fact that my goblins are now upgraded. Woo! Let's see here. I just recently put up the request. I also helped out a request. I know last recording we weren't going to go over the update, but you know what? I think we will this time. So we got here the mortar. The deployment time is increased to 5 seconds. It was originally a 3-second deployment, but the damage and also the damage decreased by 10%. See, I read somewhere on the forum, where was it? Facebook or their Instagram or something, they were talking about trying to make the defensive side of a mortar more viable. But I don't know how nerfing the mortar is going to make it more viable. That just completely ruined a lot of people's days. As one guy in my clan mentioned, it's going to destroy his entire composition. We have next we have the bomb tower lifetime decreased by 40 seconds. Was originally 60. Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness, I needed that. The cannon hit points were decreased by 11%. That's an interesting number. And then we got the Royal Giant, a card I do not have. The range increased by 1. I don't know what that means. I don't have a Royal Giant. So if you guys have a Royal Giant, let me know what that means, because I don't have one. Let's see here. The mirror card, common and rare mirror 1 level higher. Interesting. The Valkyrie will be affected. Let's see here. Affected by pushback. Okay. Oh, was it not before? Okay, so whenever you gets hit by fireball, it will be pushed. The mini P.E.K.K.A. will also be affected by the pushback. Okay. Okay. I mean, nothing. It ruined a lot of people's comps. Those last two aren't extremely important, but it will make it so you're able to push off, as they are stating here with the fireball, able to push one of those off of your tower if needed. So that's going to be a big plus for some people, and also be able to help them save the game from being GG with a last-second mini P.E.K.K.A. or Valkyrie rush. Here, let me get a drink, because as you guys know, I started coughing in the last video. So my voice, I don't know what's going on. It's a little hoarse right now. I also just changed my mic setup, so hopefully I don't have to, like, scream to try and get everything going. So give me one moment. Some good old tea. Alright, so let's see here. What do we have for the new one? We got an In the Light Prince of Fear versus an H2O clan. You know what? Let's do it, and then we can go down here to Eternal Union versus H2O. So we can have 2 H2O matches before we normally just do like straight In the Light, because they, one, have English names, so I can read them. So that's why I go with them. It's the only language I know. I know some of you guys are out. I think I have, there's like some people viewed it from France and all sorts of stuff. It's crazy. Love you guys, man. It's awesome. So y'all know multiple languages, where I'm just over here being a pleb and all I know is English. So, sorry. So right now for the clan H2O, we got the level 4 Princess, the level 10 Elixir Collector, level 12 Cannon, the level 12 Goblins, level 12 Minion Horde, the level 10 Fireball, level 10 Hog Rider, and the level 12 Zap Spell. Over here for Prince Fear, we have the level 4 Princess, level 8 Giant Skeleton, level 12 Arrows, and Minion Horde, the level 10 Inferno Tower, and 3 Musketeer. The level 8 Barrel, or Goblin Barrel. I usually just call it Barrel in my spare time, but it's the Goblin Barrel, and the level 10 Elixir Collector. The same thing I point out in every match whenever one has it and the other one doesn't is the building-focused units, such as the Hog Rider. So that's going to be the main pushing unit, but the Inferno Tower is going to be able to counter that quite heavily. The Giant Skeleton matched up with like the three. Oh my gosh, a Giant Skeleton Three Musketeer combo would be insane to see in this match. I don't know how you would get that to come about because of the expensive nature of both those cards. If I'm not mistaken, the Three Musketeer is a 9 elixir cost, and that's a 6. So you're looking at 15 elixir trying to get that combo down. But if you get it down, I'm trying to figure. I don't know if you can stop that, other than with like a fireball and just waiting for it to pass, and then like dropping minion horde, I guess, like a minion horde, or trying to get it to go back. You got to kill the Three Musketeers, and then it's quite easy to deal with. The Giant Skeleton, you can get it focused on a Hog Rider and have the Hog Rider just bolt back towards its home base, and that'll pull it back across the bridge, which is extremely helpful because, as you know, let's see here, the Giant Skeleton does 1,389 HP after it dies. So whatever damage it does manually, which is 193 damage a hit on a tower, a Giant Skeleton makes it to your tower, it is basically, no matter what, it's half health, pretty much. It's a pretty much guarantee, not to mention whatever you use to kill it is usually dead at that point. So it is an insane card, but it is a 6 elixir, so it's an expensive card, but if you can use it effectively, it is a fantastic card. Let's see here. My money's actually going to be on Prince of Fear, so don't let me down. Let's see how this battle turns out. Right off the bat, Prince of Fear has the Three Musketeer, the Elixir Collector, the Goblin Barrel, and the Minion Horde, whereas H2O has the Princess, the Zap Spell, Elixir Collector, and Hog Rider. The Elixir Collector goes down for Prince of Fear, and it looks like H2O is going to be doing the same thing, just closer to his base. The Elixir Collector, where it's placed by Prince of Fear, is going to draw the attention of a Hog Rider no matter where you place it, whereas down with H2O, the Hog Rider will instead go for a tower. The Giant Skeleton and the Princess go down for both sides. The Hog Rider Princess is on the left-hand side, and as I said before, the Elixir Collector is going to distract the Hog Rider, and it's also going to distract the Giant Skeleton. The Zap Spell goes in, the Princess is able to one-shot all of those units. The Giant Skeleton is now switching sides. The Princess is thrown in to take out the enemy Princess, allowing the Giant Skeleton to get into the base. The Fireball goes in to take out the Princess. The Cannon goes in to distract the Giant Skeleton, whereas the Goblin Barrel goes in to drop the tower down to half HP. Actually, below half HP. If this Giant Skeleton gets in there, which it is not going to be able to, the Princess is going to be taken out by the Arrow Spray, as well as getting a couple extra damage on top of H2O's base. Right now, H2O is not looking good in the tower HP department, but he does have an advantage over in Elixir. The Hog Rider and Minion Horde go down, but the Minion Horde is going to be able to do an insane amount of damage. It's actually going to be able to take out this tower. There's nothing he can do to stop it. That's why you can't let a Minion Horde go unharnessed, because a Minion Horde does a massive amount of damage. I mean, individually, the Minion Horde doesn't do a lot. But you have a Minion Horde that has, 6 units are dropped with one Minion Horde, so that is insane. The Princess goes in to get some damage in on the tower. It's going to drop it down to 88 HP, and the Goblin Barrel is able to get in there and take it out. The Princess was not able to take out the Princess before they got it down to a low amount, so now we got a Goblin and a Princess going in to do some damage on top of tower. The Hog Rider goes down on the right-hand side, whereas the Minion Swarm is going. 2 of the minions are actually going to go over and assist in taking out the Hog Rider. The Zap Spell goes in to take out the other 4. These 2 are going to be taken out before they can do anything damaging to any tower or the Elixir Collector. It does manage to get one shot in on the Elixir Collector. The Giant Skeleton is now crossing the bridge, but H2O places a cannon to distract the Giant Skeleton as he did prior. So the Giant Skeleton is going to take that out, and the Inferno Tower is going to almost take out the Hog Rider. It does, in fact, get taken out by a Fireball. The Giant Skeleton is going to be getting thrown over here. Here comes a Goblin Barrel. The Giant Skeleton goes down, but it's going to take out a lot of those minions. Unfortunately, the Goblin Barrel was not able to get any damage on top of tower because that Princess is able to take out. The 3 Musketeers go in, and the Hog Rider currently is being untested, and the Fireball actually goes in and takes out one of the 3 Musketeers and severely damaging the other 2, allowing the Princess to one-shot both of them. The Giant Skeleton takes out the Princess, and now it is crossing the bridge. The Minion Horde and the Elixir Collector go down. The Giant Skeleton is taken out, the Elixir Collector, and the Air Spray goes in to take out the Minion Horde before the Giant Skeleton is taken out by said Minion Horde. But unfortunately, the Giant Skeleton is going to go down while being distracted by that Elixir Collector, and no damage is going to be done on top of tower. The Fireball is going to go in, take out the Elixir Collector. help do some damage to the Elixir Collector and do some more damage on top of tower. Here comes an Inferno Tower, maybe? Here's the Inferno Tower. The Inferno Tower is going to be focused on top of the Hog Rider, and also making it so it does not attack the tower. These goblins are going to come in and not be able to quite take out the base. 3 Musketeers, but the Fireball comes in to take out the tower, and oh man, excuse me, and Prince of Fear goes down with the 2-1 defeat. As you saw there, H2O was doing an excellent job in using his units to distract the giant skeleton. That is exactly what you have to do. He is throwing in his cannon at optimum times to make sure that that giant skeleton did not make it to the tower. If that giant skeleton makes it to tower, it's GG. It is game over. But I did learn something from this match. However, a Fireball does an excellent amount of damage against I lost the name. The 3 Musketeers. I assume it does that type of it does the same damage to all Musketeers, I would assume. So it treats them like they're barbarians. Drops them down to like 1-hit kills, which is very useful knowledge. Now that y'all know that and I know it, I can use it to my advantage. I don't even know if I run that. I do. Okay, so I do run Fireball. I wasn't sure if my comp had that. Speaking of Musketeers, there we go, and there's some Zap Spell. Boom, there you go for loading. When that guy first joined my clan, I'm like, is he really loading? I'm so confused. What's going on right now? It was because I usually run it off of my LTE through T-Mobile. Excuse me, I had to get another drink. I usually go my provider's through T-Mobile, so that's how I usually get it. I usually run it through my LTE, and I was like, did I use up all my data? And this guy's not actually loading in. I was so confused for like a whole 5 minutes. Not really, it was about a minute or so. And I was talking, because I know the guy personally, I'm like, so is your name not, I was looking at his profile, and on his side it said it was loading. I was like, oh. Well, I feel stupid. I probably wouldn't have figured it out unless I knew the guy. But, yeah, that's the story behind his name. Let's see here. Let's come down here to Eternal Union versus H2O. Union is showing right now the level 8 Giant Skeleton, level 10 Hog Rider, level 12 Goblin, level 12 Arrows and Skeletons, the level 8 Dark Prince, the level 12 Cannon and Minions. Whereas H2O is showing the level 10 Elixir Collector, level 4 Princess, the level 12 Zap, Minions and Goblins with the level 10 Hog Rider, level 10 Rocket, and the level 8 Skeleton. Both these guys actually have a similar base. The core of their setup is very similar. They're you got the Goblins, Hog Rider, the Giant Skeleton, and the Minions. You have 3 separate cards, whereas H2O has the Rocket and the Zap spell. And for anything like that, you've got a Cannon and an Arrow Spray. So H2O doesn't have anything that's primary basis where it's just thrown on the ground as a defensive thing as the Cannon, but that Rocket is going to come in. The thing is, the Rocket is a super expensive thing, but it does so much damage. So much damage. That's one thing about it, is just it's a great card for damage-wise. I know there's a couple people out there that play this game on a religiously, and one of their favorite cards is the Rocket. I can't see myself using it because I use those types of cards as more of a defensive side, for the defensive side of things, to stop oncoming assaults. Whereas the Rocket is more for an assault, for offensive, an offensive assault. I use all of it for defense. So when I see that, I was just like, I can't bring myself to holding on to 6 Elixir, waiting to see what the opponent's going to do to throw down 6 Elixir when I can just use a Fireball, for instance, over here, and it's for 4. Yeah, sure, it doesn't do as much damage, but it's 4 Elixir, and it's more a defensive thing anyway. So it depends on what your playstyle is. Let's see how this guy uses it. Maybe who knows, after this, I might even switch over to the Rocket, depending on how well this guy utilizes the Rocket. Let's begin. For starters, H2O has the Goblin, Elixir Collector, Rocket, and the Zap spell, whereas Union has the Giant Skeleton, Minions, Arrow, and Cannon. The Giant Skeleton goes down for Union and the Elixir Collector for H2O. Again, H2O placing the Elixir Collector back towards the main castle, making it so the Hog Rider is not going to be distracted. The Princess comes in, just to get some extra damage on top of the giant skeleton. Here's the goblins to further distract the giant skeleton. Here's another giant skeleton. The air spray goes in and takes out the goblins and the princess. The hog rider gets by, however, unattested. As you see here, these guys are playing very similar cards. The bomb's actually going to go off and take out the other giant skeleton as well, but his is going to take out the rest of the minions. Got minions and a hog rider coming in, but the cannon goes down to distract the hog rider, which is a very good play. The goblins go in to further take out the hog rider, so the cannon does not go down. Now we have a minion and goblin escort. I'm sorry, I called those guys minions. I've been known to do that. The minions and the goblins, I get the names switched up all the time. The princess is going to be able to get a little bit of damage on top of Union's castle, but the Dark Prince actually does not. She got focused on top of the Dark Prince. The Dark Prince takes out the princess, but now is being taken on by the giant skeleton. In the end, the giant skeleton's going to win because it had the assistance of the tower, and the giant skeleton just has an insane amount of damage. Union throws down his giant skeleton. The hog rider's going to run past both giant skeletons straight into the base. Actually, it's going to be stopped by the cannon, but the cannon is going to be taken out quite hastily. The skeletons were not focused on top of the hog rider where they should have been, and so now the hog rider does a massive amount of damage on top of the base. The goblins are able to take out the hog rider, however, but the princess takes out those goblins before they can get anywhere. The princess is now going to be approaching the tower, and right now, as you can see, H2O has his rocket in his hand, and it's a free tower for H2O. He can take the tower at any point he wants. The zap spell goes in to stop the minions from doing any damage, and then the tower is able to one-shot every single one of them. The elixir collector is now just going to be there to assist H2O in his conquest. The giant skeleton goes down for both sides. The Dark Prince goes down for Union and the hog rider. I'm not sure what just happened there, but whatever it was, it died. Oh, he uses the rocket to stop the Dark Prince and the hog rider. If not, he would have lost his tower then. But in the end, he could have just traded tower 1 for 1, but he knows that in the past, he's been able to get through and get into that tower and do a massive amount of damage, as you've seen before. The Dark Prince is running straight headlong into the hog rider. The Dark Prince is actually going to focus down the hog rider, whereas Union's hog rider is going to run around and get distracted by the elixir collector. And the air spray goes in to take out the minions and goblins, whereas the Dark Prince is taking on the giant skeleton. Here comes the rocket for the instant GG. He was able to get it rotated around in that time. He knew if he could get it rotated, which he did, he could get that tower kill. As I was saying before, he was able to push in before. He was relying on that after he used the rocket. Whereas before, he was holding on to the rocket like, I'll just end this, I'll keep it on defense because he's not really that big of a threat anymore. But then he realized, like, oh crap, I've got to worry about a hog rider and a Dark Prince over on my left side of my tower. And after that, he's like, I gotta think about this real quick. So he started holding up and playing very defensive. And then right at the end there, as you saw, he's just like, you know what, as soon as overtime comes over, right before I think it was 2 seconds, if I'm not mistaken, 2 seconds before overtime came over, he decided, like, bye-bye, GG, game over, here's my rocket, have fun, it's done. That was a very good match. You put up a great effort there, Attack. I don't know if you're a YouTuber or not. You have YT after your name. I'm assuming you are. So if this guy's on YouTube, go watch him. I'm sure he puts out great content if he is a YouTuber. I mean, he's playing this game. How can he not? It's a fantastic game. Really, the game does everything. I just sit here and run my mouth over it most of the time. So, but thank you for watching, guys. Leave a like, subscribe. Don't forget to share. And I will see you next time.
And forcing Lightwing to throw in his minion horde in the baby dragon. The baby dragon is going to go in and do a lot of damage on top of the tower, and then the free spell goes down before anything else can go on. The baby dragon and all those minions are going to be taken out due to the AoE damage of the princess.